Think about how and where you waste your time. It's probably going to be pretty obvious because we don't plan how and where we're going to waste our time. We don't wait for the perfect conditions. We don't plan when we're just going to sit down and mindlessly scroll on our phones or binge watch any of these TV shows. You know, we don't wait for all of the stars to align in order to sit down and play those video games or in order to watch that porn. We just do it. And we do that, and I say this because the majority of people, we're going to live our lives on autopilot. It seems to feel easy, and I believe that that's the problem. We've conditioned our minds to enjoy the rewards that we get from the mindless scrolling or beating that boss on level 10 on the video game, watching porn, partaking in some gossip, or getting sucked into the news. But ask yourself, what impact does any of this have on your life? Does it move the needle anywhere in a positive direction in your life? Does it move the needle towards your goals, or does it make you bigger, faster, stronger, smarter, wiser? It absolutely doesn't. What it does is it keeps you comfortable, and it keeps you stagnant. Welcome back to another episode of Sweat Talk. My name is Chad. And what if I told you that it is possible to flip that script? What if I told you that it is possible to rewrite your mind to where you enjoy the rewards of hard work? Hello. To crave those challenges and actually feel and experience the satisfaction that's going to come from accomplishing things that should truly matter. I mean, straight up, it's not going to be easy. I know it's not easy, but it definitely is possible. I think the first step is understanding why we waste our time and how to break free from living our lives on autopilot. I think one of the biggest mistakes that we make is we don't see our time as an investment. So think about this. People will go out and they'll spend $100,000 on some prestigious degree at some crazy expensive university, and they could have done the exact same thing and got the exact same degree at a junior college for a fraction of the price. And if you look at that example, you have to think to yourself, like, why the hell would they do that? And the answer to that one's simple. It's for status. I'm not saying that there aren't jobs out there that do require the degree from the prestigious school or the Ivy League schools. But the fact is that 95% of all of those people that hold those degrees, they could have done it at a junior college for a fraction of the price. Because most people, it doesn't matter. You know, they want to be able to brag about their prestigious degree. They want to be able to brag to their friends about that accomplishment that they made. And the reality is they actually sacrifice their financial future for nothing more than bragging rights. You know, and most people, when they do that, they're young and they're ignorant and they don't realize the potential damage that they are doing to their future. On the surface, going to that Ivy League school for 4 years to get that degree, it seems to make sense. You know, unfortunately for those people when they're young, it seems like that is the logical path because that society tells us that is the right path. Or the education system will tell you that that's the right path. But when you start to dig deeper, then the truth becomes clear. Only about 50% of all college graduates actually use their degrees. And the rest, they're stuck in a job that's unrelated to their field of study, and they're still saddled with God knows how much debt for decades or maybe even the rest of their lives. Unfortunately for them, they end up sacrificing years of their lives and their financial freedom for something that they rarely ever use. But then imagine if I was to tell you that I spent $100,000 for somebody like, I don't know, Alex Hormozy, just an example. I spent $100,000 for somebody like Alex Hormozy to teach me how to build a $100 million business. If I did that, people would say that I'm nuts. People would tell me that he's scamming me, or people would say that that's an absolute ripoff, and nobody deserves to charge that amount of money. You know, people would tell me that I'm just throwing my money in the toilet. They'd tell me I'm throwing money in the trash, and that's one of the dumbest things somebody could do. But think about this. If I could invest in like, say, a coaching or a mentorship, something that's going to drastically change my mindset, something that's going to potentially drastically change my way of thinking, my life, in virtually every single aspect, because that person that I chose to pay whoever it is. They've already been there and done that and seen it, and they're going to help me along the way to save me from the sacrifices that I potentially am going to make over the course of my life in the days to come, and building something for myself or within myself. You know, like my life, my career, my everything. People would look at that and they would say that's just wasteful. But yet people won't bat an eye at spending that exact same $100,000 on a degree or on a piece of paper that the majority of people don't even use. And I believe that the reason we do this is because society has trained us to believe in the value of one thing versus the value of another thing. Society has trained us to value status over results. And then we see time as something that's disposable instead of something that is extremely valuable and precious. Because the truth is your time is hands down the most valuable thing that you will ever have in your entire life. Your time is way more valuable than money. You can always make more money. You can always get more of it. But your time, you can never get that back. You'll never be able to push pause on that time clock. You'll never be able to retrieve those years of wasted time. You cannot put a price tag on your life. You cannot put a price tag on your mental well-being, but here we are. We do it all the time. We do it just about every single day. And I think that's because most of us, we don't truly understand the value of our time. You know, we say things like time is money and life is short, but the reality is our actions say something completely different. So if time is money and life is short, then why in the world do we treat time like it's an unlimited resource? Why do we spend hours every single day on something that it doesn't add value to our lives? And I believe the answer to those questions is because we've never actually been taught to value our time. It's almost like society as a whole, society encourages us to waste our time. You know, the entertainment, the social media, the marketing campaigns, they are all designed to capture your attention and waste your time. The more time you spend on their platforms, the more money that they make. And then if you look at it right, your wasted time becomes somebody else's profit. And you gave that up for free. But here's the irony is we think that we're wasting our time in the wrong places. But the reality is we're wasting our time in the right places. We're wasting our time in the places where it feels easy. And then the wrong places become the place where growth is actually going to happen. We see the wrong places as the places that are hard, the things that are difficult for us to achieve. You know, those times where you might feel like you're faking it. You know, you're faking it till you make it, or when you feel like you're an imposter. But that's exactly where you need to be. And I'm saying it like this because pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone is always going to feel wrong, and it's always going to feel hard. And I believe it's supposed to, because growth is never going to feel easy. Growth shouldn't feel easy, but it should feel good in the end. Hello. When you're learning something new, when you're chasing your dreams, or when you're trying to build discipline, it's going to feel wrong, and that's because it's hard, because you're trying to break out of those old patterns. And breaking those old patterns, it's extremely hard. And in hard work, it doesn't give us that immediate reward that we're chasing, or that immediate reward that we might feel that we deserve at that time. There's no instant gratification for studying hard for that exam. There's no instant gratification for hitting the gym or building a personal business. The results come later, and because our brains are wired to seek immediate pleasure, then we're going to avoid the hard work, the hard work that should actually truly matter. So then here's the truth about that. The satisfaction that you are going to realize, the satisfaction that you will receive from doing that hard work, it's going to be far greater than the fleeting joy that you're going to receive from wasting your time. When you put in the effort, when you overcome those challenges, and when you see those results, that's a feeling that's going to last. It's the kind of satisfaction that's going to build your self-esteem and your confidence and your pride. I also believe that you can rewire your brain to enjoy that hard work, but it's going to start with some small steps. You know, so like the next time that you feel like wasting time, just pause for a minute and ask yourself, is this going to add value to my life? And then when you ask yourself that question, if the answer is no, then simply make a different choice. Choose something that's going to be uncomfortable, but something that's going to be meaningful. Go for a run, read a book, start a new side project. At first, it's going to feel wrong. You're going to feel like you're spending your time in the wrong place. It's going to feel uncomfortable, and you're probably you are going to want to quit. But every single time that you chase discomfort over ease, you are going to be able to rewire your brain. You will rewire your mind to where you actually enjoy doing it. In the end, the idea is to teach yourself to value the long-term reward over that short-term gratification. And then eventually, over time, the hard things, they're going to feel right. You'll start to enjoy the process of growth and the satisfaction that comes from pushing your limits. Your time is your most valuable resource, no matter what. And how you spend your time, it's going to shape your reality, and it's going to shape your life. You can continue living your life on autopilot and wasting your time in the right places, or you can make the conscious decision to spend your time in the wrong places, the places that are going to push you and the places that you're going to grow. At the end of the day, what I'm trying to relay, the message that I'm trying to relay is the choice is yours. But you have to remember that every single second that you waste is a second of your life that you can never get back. Don't let your life slip away on autopilot. Stop wasting your time and start looking at it as investing your time, and start looking at it as spending your time, and spend that time wisely. When it feels wrong, when it feels uncomfortable, when it feels hard, that's how you're going to know that you are spending your time in the right place. So if you made it this far, do me a favor and go down in the comments section, write 2 words, spending time. Just those 2 words, that's it, spending time. We need to look at our time as being spent. We need to stop wasting our time, because we would never go out and we would never waste money. When we go out, we spend money. But if we're able to shift our perspective to our time being a currency, and we understand that we are spending our time, and that our time is not an unlimited resource. It is very finite, and it is hands down the most valuable currency that you can possibly have. We know that it's actually a transactional currency. We just don't look at it as a transactional currency. But we know this because when we go to work, we sell our time. We spend our time at our jobs. And it becomes transactional because your boss and you have agreed to a certain wage in exchange for your time. When you sit down and you look at social media, all of the social media websites out there, every single one of those apps, you spend your time. And from that transaction of you spending your time, they make money. So we know that our time is a currency. We know that it is a transactional currency, but we don't ever see it. So think about that. Next time you decide that you want to waste your time, shift your thought, shift your mindset, change your process of thinking to understanding that you are spending your time. And when you do that, then you will begin to see the value of your time, and you'll begin to invest your time. Because once something is spent, it is gone. You can never get it back. You can get others, but when it comes to time, you will never be able to retrieve that. You will never get that back. I ask for these short comments, the 1 or 2 word comments, because it does a couple of things. Number one, it helps us reprogram our minds in a positive way to understand and to shift our perspective into a different way in our subconscious minds. Because when we see something over and over and over, when we do something and experience something over and over and over, it's going to help us change our subconscious mind. And then the second thing that it does is it helps the channel out. According to my analytics, 72% of you guys are not subscribed. 72% of the people that are watching this channel are not subscribed. So every single interaction that the algorithm sees, whether it's a like, a comment, or a subscribe, then it appeases the algorithm. It's going to help the channel grow, and it'll make the algorithm more likely to push its content out to somebody else who might find value in it as well. I want to thank you guys for those super thanks that you keep giving me. It truly does mean the world to me, and it oh my gosh, it blows my mind every time I get one. So thank you. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you guys, and for all of the support that you've been showing this channel, me and my family. And I want to thank you guys for showing up. I hope you guys are showing up for yourselves. and I hope that each and every one of you has a wonderful day. Peace.